there's no boundary. There's no stopping point. We've got to hold the divine image sacred. You can't tamper with these things and get away with it. This process called cytoplasmic transfer, which you may have heard of before. Dr. Sibeli, the world's first human clone of an adult, has now been made since 1998, oddly enough, by an American biotechnology company in Massachusetts, Advanced Cell Technology. They took a cell from Dr. Jose Sibeli, a research scientist, and combined it with a cow's egg from the genes that had already, and the genes from which the genes had already been removed. Okay, so took cow genes out, still a cow egg, put his cytoplasm stuff in there. I don't know a whole lot about all this stuff. I just know enough to tell you, okay? The genes activated, the egg began to divide in the normal way it does up to the 32 cell stage. That's 5 times, okay? If the clone had been allowed to continue beyond implantation, it would have developed as Dr. Sibeli's identical twin. Technically, this is even weirder, 1% of the human clone genes would have belonged to the cow. Now we're really getting into some weirdness, people. 1% is still 1% belonging to a cow. And why is that? Because the mitochondrial genes that are the power generators of the cytoplasm of the cell, they grow and divide inside the cells and are passed on from one generation to another. There's just a tiny bit of DNA that's in the mitochondria that are in the cell that passes from, and it passes, check this out, from generation to generation, to stop the person. In other words, that little tiny tweak, that little tiny, movement affects generations. Okay? Here's a girl, which the same process was done, except it was done with a human egg. Okay, that guy's was done with a cow egg. This girl had it with a third-party egg. She's one of only 30 to 50 people in the world who have some mitochondria, and therefore to be a DNA 1%, from a third person. This is wacky stuff, guys, but this is happening in our world. That's what I want you to see. Take the blinders off that this stuff is happening. It's not just like theory anymore. Okay? She was conceived through a pioneering infertility treatment in the USA, which was later banned. In 2002, the American FDA asked clinics to stop doing cytoplasmic transfer due to safety and ethical concerns. All of them did, at least all that they know of, right? There was a reaction from scientists, ethicists, public at large. I think it was some of it was critical. Every time experiments done in medicine, there's a reaction. What are the risks here? Not just in the here and now, but what are the risks in the future? At the time, some were concerned because they felt this is a germline genetic modification. And what germline means is that a child like Alana would pass her unusual genetic code down to her children. And their children would pass it to their children's children, and so on. Because we inherit our mitochondria only from our mothers, and the female children would pass their angel genetic code on. Crossing the germline, as it is known, has never been done. So very little known about what the outcome could be. Okay? Just bringing this all to your attention. So, what do I believe the abomination of desolation is? I believe there is a genetic manipulation, this stuff is happening. It's not just in the future, but I think that there's more to be done. In these fields of research where people are literally trying to create human-animal hybrids, crossing the boundaries between what we know is right and wrong, the image of God, and whatever all of these other things are. You see this abomination of desolation standing in the holy place, the herald of the Great Tribulation that gets cut short, interrupted by the appearing of Jesus and the rapture of the church. So, Jesus says, when you see the abomination of desolation standing in the holy place, let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains, for then there will be great tribulation, such as not been since the creation of the world, and no, never will be. And they had to be cut short where nobody would be saved, because of the sake of the elect. Immediately after the tribulation of those days, the sun will be darkened, the moon will not be so. Remember that 6th seal? That happens right after that. Then will appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. All the tribes will mourn. They'll see the Son of Man coming, and he will send his angels to gather the elect from one end of the earth to the other. So this is why I believe in a mid-tribulational rapture event. After the abomination of desolation, which it says happens in the very center, in the middle of that time period, okay? Right in the center of that time period, we go to be with Jesus. We get married, so to speak, to him, until we come back to reign with him after the 3.5 years of the Antichrist has authority over the entire world. Now, what do I think is the holy place? Is it this? Well, it may be. But what else is called holy? Who is called holy? I really believe that there is an abomination of desolation, not only in the holy place in Jerusalem, but an abomination of desolation that comes to the holy place here, where some technology, some advancement modifies, and there are huge implications for the modification of human beings. I'm just telling you, ethically, spiritually, all that stuff. You need to ask yourselves these questions, and you need to think about these things, because this stuff is on the horizon. And once you begin messing, tampering with these sorts of things, what will happen? What happened in Noah's day? The whole world got corrupted. The whole world got messed up. And God had to flood it. He had to destroy what He made. And guess what? A day is coming. So as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be what? In the coming of the Son of Man. And we need to be ready that when things begin to deteriorate, the image of God on the earth, you who are here will stand firm in the face of advancement. You can have brand new, you can have this, you can be greater than what you are. Why would you never take that? And in a world that has been fed evolution and improvement for however many years, where children are learning that things progress, that things get better over time, instead of things are deteriorating, which is actually what we observe. That the world is coming to a apex, a decision point, a place of reckoning, where we have to make a decision who we are going to follow, whether we follow the kingdom of the Antichrist or whether we follow the kingdom of God. There it is. Let's pray. God, I pray that these things that we have unearthed, things that we've talked about, God, that what I believe is true, what I believe is coming to this world, that is already here, Lord, that you would prepare us, that you would teach us, that you would help us, Lord, to be aware and alert and ready and prayerful, Lord, about what is coming. We love you, God, and thank you for your word that teaches us, that tells us beforehand the things which shall soon take place. And we give you the glory and the honor. In the name of Jesus we pray. Amen. Amen. Okay, don't forget, wait. It's a purpose this week. Make sure you text and stay up to date. And also, don't forget Harvest Fest, guys, because it's going to be really sweet. We're actually going to be playing they bumped us to 5:30 to 6:15, so we have extra 15 minutes to play, and we're opening right before Jeremy Camp, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's awesome. So anyway, come see us, be a part of it. Have a great week. I love you. God bless.